I would start off with saying, if you ever need to talk about it, I'm here. They may brush you off and say, I don't know what you're talking about, or you just gave them that glimmer of hope that there's someone that they can talk to.
Hay que vivir sin excusas.
Algunas veces tienes dudas que tus sueños no se puedan cumplir. No encuentras la manera ni el camino que puedas seguir. No te demores.
Good evening and welcome to Conversations with Ajusta Tu Corona. I am your host this evening, Lillian Maldonado, and I am just cheesing from ear to ear because I feel like I haven't been on a show in many weeks. And tonight's guest is going to ask you, well, actually, I'm going to ask you, how many of you are still keeping up with your goals that you made in January? That January 1st comes around and we all make these resolutions about getting our finances right and hitting that gym. How many of you are still going to the gym? How many of you have decided that you just want to be healthy and it's not about being skinny or having the Barbie body, but you want to be fit, you want to be healthy? So tonight's guest is Monique Serrano from Team Serrano, and I'm going to bring her on in a minute, and she's going to talk to us about plant-based eating, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her past health issues and the many things that she's done to become healthy. She is someone that I follow on social media, and I see like all of her struggles that she has been through when on her journey to becoming healthy. So I'm super excited for her to tell us about what's in store tonight about plant-based eating, and just she's a wonderful person to talk to. You're going to love her. Let me bring her on. Hi, Monique. So for those of you that don't know, Monique was also a guest at one of our Ajustas Tu Corona that we were supposed to present live, but of course that was when the pandemic hit. So she streamed with us before and she was one of our speakers, and I absolutely adore her. As you heard before, Monique, I follow Team Serrano.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it.
So go ahead and tell our guests a little bit about your health struggles from the past, and you can tell me. I don't know if they're still current or what the situation is. So just go for it and let them know.
Well, I'll just take it back. Originally, I was diagnosed with cancer when I was pregnant with Olivia, who's now currently 15. She'll be 16 this year. Mind blowing. They told me I had a good cancer and I had nothing to worry about. And there's some radiation, it went away. So they thought Olivia is an in vitro baby. So I was on a lot of fertility medications. Did the same thing with my youngest son, Emmanuel. And my cancer came back again while I was pregnant with him. And it was again thyroid cancer, which was anaplastic thyroid cancer, which is only found in 60-year-olds. And I happen to be in my early 20s. So I underwent surgery while I was pregnant. And I was actually pregnant with twins at the time. So I lost a twin and I had Emmanuel. After I had Emmanuel, prior to having Emmanuel, let me backtrack. They told me I was only going to live to October 2011 if I didn't get an abortion. And I believe in a higher power, so I left it in God's hands. And I said, whatever God wants, that's the route I'm going to take. They told me, okay. So I had Emmanuel. October came, still here. A year later, October 2012, I gained over 100 pounds. I went up to 392 pounds. I walked into the gym at 389 pounds because at that point I was thinking about getting bariatric surgery, but then the lady told me I would never be able to eat pizza again. And I said, oh, wait a minute, I can't do this. So I decided not to go that route. So I walked into a gym instead, and I went from 389 pounds down to 169 pounds. So I lost 220 pounds, and I was really excited and happy. And then I moved to Florida, and I was still on a good path. And then the following 2016, I moved to Florida. In 2017, I actually lost my 7-year-old nephew. And at that time, I felt lost, and I lost all my motivation, and I lost myself. And I went into a depression, and I gained 100 pounds back. And then I lost the weight again, which was wonderful. And then a year and a half ago, I ruptured my Achilles.
Mhm.
And not only did I rupture my Achilles, I was diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia. So it was like boom, 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 boom. I was getting attacked everywhere. And I felt like I was on a spiritual attack as well. So last year, I just had to readjust myself. Basically, that's really what I had to do. I had to look within myself and say, when was I the happiest? And my happiest was when I was living in Connecticut, and when I was in the gym, and when I was following a more plant-based diet, and when I was on Juice Plus. So I was like, okay, I need to go back on Juice Plus. I had a girlfriend at the time who I met here 3 years ago through Bible study, and she had a tower garden, which I was intrigued about, and I love growing plants. So that caught my attention right away. And I was like, oh, what's this? And she was like, oh, this is part of Juice Plus. And I'm like, this tower garden that you can grow all your vegetables on? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I want one, but how much is it? Like, I don't know. So, of course, we start questioning everything. We get into our own heads, right? We start questioning everything, start thinking about financially, like, do I really want to do this? It sounds like a lot, but at the same time, I had to question everything. Does it cost a lot to maintain my health? Or is it going to cost me more to pay Big Pharma? And I decided, instead of paying medical doctors, I'm going to invest in myself. So I said, I'm going back on Juice Plus. And I went back on Juice Plus. I snatched back my life last year, and I just did everything I possibly can. So I started taking the capsules, and I got my family back on it. So I don't know if you know, but with Juice Plus, for every adult, you get a child for free. So Olivia and Emmanuel are actually on it as well. And we call Emmanuel Shay, just in case I say Shay during this. So Shay's on it, Olivia's on it, and Manny's on it. The whole team Serrano. If I could put the dog on it, I'd probably put him on it too. So, but can't put him on it yet, but maybe one day. But so Manny actually took the capsules, and I preferred the gummies just because I like to chew the gummies, and he prefers to just take the capsules. And it's just easier for me at this point because my lupus does impact swallowing.
Mm-hmm.
So the gummies are easier for me at this point. The capsules are just easier for him. So yeah, that's basically a cute short summary.
So you said that you wanted to go back to a point in your life where you felt the happiest, but is it that you felt the healthiest?
Yes, and that's exactly why I was the happiest, is because I was the best version of myself health-wise. I was working out, I was eating right, I was taking these capsules that have everything that you need, vitamin-wise, like vegetable-wise, fruit, berries, all in one. So if you try to take all your vegetables that your doctor states that you need
Mm-hmm.
every day, daily, and you try to consume it, there's no way possible, right? So I'm like, how am I going to do this? There's no way. One, is not cost efficient. Two, it's just impossible because I'm going to be full before even 4 o'clock comes. Even
Mhm.
though you don't think eating all these vegetables, you're going to make room because your body digests vegetables and fruits better. But I was like, there's no way. And it's less than 250 a day to take these capsules or gummies. So I was like, I'm just going to take it. And then sure enough, my blood work wasn't good. They had told me back in August, they put me on a very, very strict diet back in August. They took life away from me. Coffee, sugar, salt, bread, carbs, even bananas. I can't even have a banana. They took it all away from me. And I was like, oh my goodness, you just took life away from me. Well,
What were those items affecting?
inflammation, my lupus.
Okay. So bananas are bad for inflammation.
Yes, because they're a starch.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yuca, which my mother-in-law makes the best yuca, if y'all know. She was here over Christmas break, and I was like, oh, she's making yuca. And I'm like, I can't eat it because yuca has starch, and starch causes inflammation and lupus.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So,
Yeah.
what advice do you have for someone considering to transitioning to a plant-based diet?
I would say, one, take your time. Don't rush into it because that's where the failure is. If you just think, boom, I can rush into this lifestyle. Um, Ease into it, just like you would ease into anything. Supplement something every day. Um, Start with something small on breakfast. If you're used to consuming sausage every morning, replace that sausage with something plant based, or protein like almonds.
Hmm.
Start like that. Then the next day, try something else. You might not do good the next day, so revert back to step one. Until you master step one, then you jump to step two. And you have to keep doing that and doing that and doing that. You can't just say, okay, this is what I'm going to do and jump into it and think life is going to be easy. It's really not. Because there's days I look at it and I'm like, oh, I just really, really, really want those fries and a milkshake. But
Are there specific challenges to doing a plant-based diet to like during the transition? Is there something that like a side effect that you can have from it?
um, yeah, you can not get enough protein, which your body will feel fatigue. Your hair can fall out. Your face can get dry. Actually, yes, your face can get very dry, your lips. So if you don't have enough protein within your diet, and I say that's the biggest, biggest, biggest thing is your protein. Um, so many side effects can happen because you're going from consuming animals that have so much protein within them to not consuming animals to learning what vegetables and fruits have the best source of protein within it to keep you regulated.
So you're just taking the vitamins, but are you also following like a strict protein filled diet with vegetables? So you're not having any carbs at all.
So I'm high protein. So I consume 95% of my diet is high or protein.
Okay.
Especially I eat a lot of beans. I love beans. I found that beans make me happy. Usually people hear beans, they're like, well, I'm gonna get gas. But when you're on a plant-based diet and once your body is so used to it, you don't have the same reaction that you would have when you're consuming carbs and animal and meat and so on and so forth. Um, so I make a lot of bean salads where like chickpeas are my jam. I love chickpeas, like to the point where I make chickpea tacos now. I make chickpea potato chips now. They're the highest in protein, and that's what I live off of. So
Yeah. That like that's something I would really have to consider because I do not like the texture of any vegetables. Like I can't, there's something about it that just doesn't go past here. And I will
Yeah.
gag. I will actually gag trying to eat vegetables. And I mean, I do better if they're raw, like a few of them, but most of the time I just can't handle the texture. And I don't know if that's in my mind or if that's something that I really feel.
Yeah, and that's where I'm gonna say the 5%. Like I always try to be honest with people. The 5% is where I still consume. I still do eat chicken sometimes, um, but I am. My brother is like really trying to get me to just juice and be 100% plant based. But because, like I said, you have to do it in steps. You have to do it in steps. If you don't do it in the right steps, you can crash. So, like today, I had a salad with a whole bunch of like cheese on it. And actually the cheese was not dairy cheese. It was a vegetable plant-based cheese.
Based cheese.
And it was mozzarella plant-based cheese, but that's where my protein is, right? And one of my coworkers was like, "That's a whole lot of cheese." And I was like, "That's my protein." And because I knew that there was a possibility that I may not eat my whole salad with the cheese, I did warm up my chicken and I left it there on the plate just so it was there. But I ate my salad. I try to consume my salad as much as I can. I took one bite of the chicken. I was like, ugh. And then I just ate my salad. I continued to eat my salad and I threw out the chicken because I didn't like the one bite. So it's just doing it in steps to make sure that I do it right for myself and for my body. Most importantly, you have to listen to your body. If your body will tell you, "Hey, I I I need this." It'll crave it. Like it does cravings. I sometimes crave beef. And if
Yes.
I'm craving beef, I'm like, "Okay, I need iron." So
Yes.
I go
Yeah.
get my spinach because I know I could get iron from there. And I'm like, okay, let me make a smoothie real quick. Let me do this. Let me try to see where I can get this. But I will say within the last 2 weeks, I've been living off of my tower garden. Um, my body has done a crazy transformation in this last 2 weeks. Just living off of my tower garden here and my lettuce here. It In the last 2 weeks, I've lost over 8 pounds. I don't know how, but it's just dropping off of me now. Um, because I actually plateaued and I was like, oh, here we go. But then all of a sudden I started eating my lettuce here, lost 8 pounds. I went out to a restaurant recently with a girlfriend. I ordered a salad and I'm like, oh, this is not delicious. And I didn't really like the salad. And she's like, why you love salad? And I was like, you have to have my salad now. Like, if you have a salad from my tower garden, you're going to be like, okay, life is different. My husband, who's like you, he hates vegetables. I recently made chicken souvlaki because my daughter loves it. He hates the tzatziki sauce. He's had it, but he won't gravitate to it. I made it recently. I was like, babe, can you just taste it? Because I made it with fresh dill from my tower garden. And he had it and he was like, this is good. Like, this is good. Like, same recipe? I'm like,
No.
babe, the only difference is the dill. He's like, this is good. And I'm like, dude, it's the same recipe. Like, nothing changed but the dill, which was from the tower garden because it was fresh. And he ate it. And my daughter devoured it in a week. Usually that would last us like a month. She devoured it in a week.
So, do you believe that our vegetables outside of your tower, things are being added to them to not be as fresh as the ones in your tower?
I will say that yes, because I can say ever since I started growing my own vegetables, I taste wise, it's just different. It's just different. I know what I'm putting here. I know that minerals and fresh vitamins are going into my food. When I go to a grocery store and I'm picking up romaine lettuce or kale or spinach, I know I'm just getting it from the grocery store. I can tell you the crisp is different. I can tell you the texture is different. I can tell you the taste is totally different. Um, I I can definitely taste the difference.
Hmm. Do you feel that there is cultural differences in plant-based diets and our daily diets?
Yeah, because I mean, there's always going to be a cultural difference
Mm-hmm.
because culture plays a major role in everybody's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I come from a Hispanic background, Spaniard background, Puerto Rican background. Um, I grew up with a grandmother who was from Spain, so the Mediterranean diet it was always a big thing for me. My husband's very Puerto Rican, where mofongo is his jam. um, so culture definitely plays a major part because my girlfriend, who's from India, she cooks with different spices in her bean salads than I would.
Okay.
She'll prep things differently as well than I would. So yeah, culture. And I think that's important as well because that's what's going to bring diversity into your lifestyle. Because I don't want to call this a diet. It's not a diet. Diets are a fad. You know, everybody wants a diet so we can lose weight quick, right? This becomes a lifestyle. You have to
Mhm.
maintain this, you have to manage it. So once you embrace, hey, I noticed you're making that bean salad your way. You're using different spices, you're using different culture things in it. Let me bring that in to me,
Mhm.
you know? There's like a Mexican bean salad. Once again, culture, right? That's where the
Mhm.
culture comes from. So yeah, there's a bean salad with feta, cheese, and tzatziki sauce, and it's a Greek bean salad. So you know, culture is definitely a huge thing. I believe it's around us all the time, and I think if we embrace it, that diversity just helps us.
Yeah. How do you like, once again, I'm thinking vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. So, how do you change up your meals with the with the vegetables?
So I mean, what's great now is there's a lot of plant based things. There's plant based meat where it is plant based. You can take cauliflower now. They have cauliflower wings, even though it's cauliflower. I know, girl, I know, but they have cauliflower boneless wing. My kids love them actually, and you could chop them up. You can make them into like a meal. You just gotta incorporate it. Like I said, you gotta have fun with your food. That's the most important part. If you like cooking, then it becomes really, really easy. Um, I love cooking, so I don't mind looking up recipes and saying, "Oh, what can I do with my cauliflower today?" Oh, I can make a pizza out of this. Oh, how can I make a pizza out of this? And then take my cauliflower, make the crust, make everything, make a pizza out of it. Oh, wait a minute. I can make tacos out of this? Let me try to make these tacos. Oh, I can make mashed potatoes out of this? So it's really like just try willing to learn is the most important key factor. And I tell people never stop learning because that's how you're going to stop growing. As long as you're learning, you're going to keep growing. So I'm learning how to embrace this lifestyle, which is helping me grow and to the best version of me.
Tell me about your energy level.
I am loving my energy level actually. To the point where it's hard to shut it off at night. Um I don't drink coffee no more. I think I said that earlier. I actually am on a mushroom coffee, which has a bunch of different ingredients in it. I drink that in the morning, and During the day, I'm just all over the place. I work for two business owners, and they have a lot of businesses, and they keep me busy. I'm their chaos coordinator, executive assistant, and I'm always on the go. So you would think I will be wiped out. Nope. I can work from, I get up at 5 in the morning, I drop off the kids, and I can be at work until about 7, 8 o'clock at night, come home, put my clothes away, talk to my husband, play with my granddaughter. I'm talking to you. I'm still energized. Yeah, I'm like, I actually have more energy now than I did before. Before, I was always lagging and tired, um, and sick. I was always sick, always sick. And that was another thing, because I have such a weak autoimmune system, I was always getting sick. My daughter had the flu. My son had the flu. I looked at my husband. I said, "Oh gosh, I'm gonna get sick. I'm gonna be taken out." And I started consuming all my Juice Plus. You cannot overdose on Juice Plus, but they say double up on your Juice Plus when somebody around you is sick. Since I don't have a normal autoimmune system, I decided to quadruple up. So I was like I was like Pac-Man, just throwing it down my mouth. And I didn't get sick.
I
So
saw that
it was the
because
first time in history.
I was watching that video that you made, and it piqued my curiosity, and this is why I called you, because I was diagnosed with Hashimoto disease, and I was like, okay, that means I can't get sick. That was the first thing that I thought of. I can't get sick. It's there's many different autoimmune diseases out there, and this happens to be one of them. So when I saw you talking about how you were doubling up on the vitamins, it reminded me how people were taking black seed oil during the pandemic so that they weren't getting sick. So I was like, I'm gonna call Monique. So you didn't get sick. Everybody else did get sick, but you said that they were also on the vitamins, or did they start up having
No, they
vitamins?
started up after.
Uh,
But Emmanuel couldn't shake his fever. And like, he couldn't shake his fever at all. And I was like, you better start taking your Juice Plus. And he was just so, he's such a guy. He's so hard headed. And he's like, okay. So he's taking it, and he's taking it, and he's looking at me and giving me the side eye like, Mom, I just don't want to take this. I'm like, take it and break your fever. I'm telling you. And they told us he wasn't going to be able to go back to school until the following week. He went back to school 2 days later.
he broke his fever.
He broke his fever. He was back to normal. And now he's like, I'm going to take my Juice Plus. I'm going to take my Juice Plus. I'm like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So he's on the Juice Plus. He's actually on the Omega as well. Um, Emmanuel Shea, my youngest, he has ADD. And so do I. And he's actually medicated for his ADD. I am not. He's trying to wean himself off of his ADD medication. So the Omega studies, like Yale New Haven Hospital, they have done studies on Juice Plus. So many different hospitals have done studies, and the Omega shows that it helps with attention. So he has been doing it, and he has been weaning himself off his ADD medication slowly but surely. He's actually, I think, going to be fully off of it by next week.
That's great. I know many children that are on it, and I wonder how our parents dealt with it back in the day when there was no medication for that.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question, what is Juice Plus?
Juice Plus is all your nutrition, basically in a capsule or gummies. So with that being said, all your berries that you need to consume daily, all your vegetables you need to consume daily, or all your fruits you need to consume daily in either a capsule or a gummy. Um, the vegetable has about the vegetable capsule and gummy. I'm sorry, let me say that again. The vegetable capsule or gummy has about 12 different vegetables within it, to the point that you can actually open up the capsule. And I did this, and I don't recommend doing it with the vegetable one because I did it. And let me just tell you, I had the taste of parsley on my mouth all day. You can actually taste the parsley within it. That you can actually break it in your mouth and eat it because it is vegetables, just in a capsule form. The gummies as well. The omega is plant based as well. It is not fish oil, which is one of the reasons why I gravitated to it because when I needed to take omega back in the day, I was always burping up that nasty fish oil. So this is plant based, and actually, you can pop it right in your mouth and you can actually taste like the pineapple within it. It's delicious. So it is all your nutrition that your doctors recommend within a day: vegetables, vegetable fruits, and berries, all within capsules and
And
gummies. So that is the best part.
the mushroom coffee that you talked about, is that also one of their products?
No, it is called mud water. They do have different variations of it. Mushroom coffee is big now. I'm not, that's not part of Juice Plus, but I do love it.
And you said the tower is part of Juice Plus.
The tower is part of Juice Plus and it is my favorite thing right now.
Now,
That and the smoothies, I think.
when I saw the towers last year sometime, I felt that they were very expensive. And I looked at the price this year and it's a big drop in the price. What do you think is the comparison, like you said, of your groceries and saving on your groceries, growing your own produce versus going and buying it at the grocery store?
So my my friend Lisa, she's actually my mentor as well. She's phenomenal. I wish
She's here.
she is.
She's watching.
Oh, hey Lisa. um she is like she just recently she taught me how to make sourdough too. And I love Lisa. Like, oh, I love Lisa. I love her so
Say,
much.
hey,
um She has, she's like my ultimate goals. She has outside tower artists, which I'm not ready for because I don't like bugs. Let's be honest. But she has goals and she has an indoor one like I do. And she was saying that she saved within her first year. I could be marking her wrong. I could be saying this wrong, but I believe she said she saved over 1,000. I know that the Tower Garden pays for itself within the first 6 months.
oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. It
Now,
pays for itself within the first 6 months. And I think that's old data because I just want you to know I have lived off of my Tower Garden within the last 2 weeks. I usually spend on romaine lettuce and like arugula and kale and other greens. I usually spend about $200 a week.
oh, wow.
I've saved $400 in the last 2 weeks. So I just want to do that math real quick. $400 in 2 weeks. That's half of my Tower Garden in 2 weeks.
That's great. That's great.
That's literally almost half of it. Yeah.
So Lisa says, love you, Monique. And that is correct. So
Love you.
I'm very curious about this Tower Garden, and I'm sure there's many people in our audience as well. So when you order a Tower Garden, it comes with a certain number of capsules that grow. What is the cost to refill your, like, how often do you have to refill your
Oh
Tower?
man. This is the fun part now. I'm getting tested. So this is my first time around with the Tower Garden. So you can live off of your Tower Garden, I believe, up to 3 months. And then you have to order seedlings. So just so you know, like I said, I had Lisa who guided me. She gave me a website and I ordered the seedlings. They come germinated already and they're beautiful. They're little cute babies. And you pop them in the slots.
Okay.
Each Tower Garden comes with, I believe, 36 slots. I'm about to pull it up while I'm talking to you. And right now I have strawberries growing, and they do take the longest to grow. And I have peppers growing, and they take a while to grow, and tomatoes. I have parsley, rosemary, dill, basil, whew, like 4 different lettuces, spinach, kale.
Is there cilantro?
There's cilantro. You know, every Hispanic needs cilantro.
So
And
we
my cilantro growing is almost ready for to be made into sofrito.
That was my next question. We can grow everything to make our sofrito.
Yes, and it's gonna be made into sofrito. So I'm excited to make sofrito this time around because one, this is gonna be fresh
Fresh.
cilantro. You know, it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, it's like going to my mother-in-law's house in Puerto Rico and getting fresh cilantro. Like, how good does it get? So I'm excited about that. I told my husband the other day, I was like, look at my cilantro. It's ready. My ancestors are talking to me soon. So
My when in the tower garden and these little capsules that are popped into the slots. So basically your vegetables are clean. They're not coming out of dirt,
no,
correct?
nope. You can actually just cut them off and eat them right from the tower. And to trickle back to what you said, in 3 months, like I already started looking at the website where you order them from. You have to order them on Monday or before Monday.
Mhm.
And then they'll be here by Wednesday. Your little seedlings that come, and then you pop them into your tower garden. There's a beautiful little area in the bottom of it that has a water floater. And when it goes down, that means you have to fill it. It holds up to 13 gallons of water at a time. When you order your tower garden, it comes with all your minerals and vitamins. So just so you know, there are other places that have gardens like that for different prices, but they're not giving you minerals and vitamins. This is actually minerals and vitamins that are going into your vegetables and fruit. Um, they give you a kit to test your pH. So I test mine weekly. I need to do better because actually I went a week and a half last week. So and it gives you a chart, and the chart shows you. I wish I would have grabbed it, but my granddaughter's here and she's going 100 miles per hour, so I had to rush in here. But and it gives you the chart tells you if your pH is happy, basically. So if it's blue, it tells you what's it. If it's like yellow or orange, you have to add like more, which vitamin it tells you that what's to add. It waters itself. The light turns on. I do mine from 6 in the morning to 6 at night. Manny has been putting the light on now to 8 o'clock at night, and I think that's why it's out of control and growing the way it's growing. He's leaving it on for additional 2, 3 hours because the light has grown on him. So he's like, "Oh, I need a light," and he turns on the lamp, and I'm like, okay, you're putting the lights on for the yeah, yeah." I will say not only are my vegetables thriving from the tower, Lisa told me that my plants will also be thriving. I have about 70 plants within my house. They are living their best life right now with this light.
I do not have a green thumb. I have no plants in my house.
You actually don't need a green thumb for it. That's the funny part. It does everything itself. You just got to be ready when it's ready to go there and just start cutting.
Very interesting. So tell our audience if they are interested in Juice Plus or the Tower, how to get a hold of you.
Um, you can actually text me or at 321-345-6262. I'll be happy to provide any information that I can to you and give you the Juice Plus link and set you up. What's nice about Juice Plus as well is if you don't know what to put in your shopping cart and you're confused, I can set up the cart for you and send you a direct link to your email. And all you have to do is check out, which is nice. Um, I highly recommend it. I highly, highly recommend and investing in yourself. Um, I am so so glowing. Somebody said to me the other day, how old are you? Like 24, 25? I was like, I wish. But and I was actually coming back from North Carolina with my granddaughter. And they were like, but your daughter's like, how old is she? And I was like, well, this is my granddaughter. And they're like, stop lying. But my skin is better, life is better. Yeah, so I highly recommend it. I definitely am my happiest again. I
Can I ask
am.
how long you've been on it?
So I just went back on Juice Plus in November, and within 2 weeks I saw a difference. Within a month, I was like, my everything was great. I actually just did my blood work again, and my doctor was like, "I better come back good. If not, we're gonna have to look into diabetes." And I just actually got my numbers back, and I was in the green for everything for the first time in over 2 years.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Ajusta Tu Corona would definitely love that link. So, send the link to Mel.
I will.
I can put the link on the bottom of the screen if you'd like to give it to me.
Of
Or
course,
if
yes.
you want to text it to me, I'll type it in for you.
Awesome. I'll text you right now. Yeah, so I'll be more than happy to answer anybody's questions because I feel like we're especially as mothers, I feel we invest in everybody else except ourselves, right?
Absolutely.
We pour into our husbands, we pour into our kids, and I'm pouring into my granddaughter, right? But we pour into everybody. I even pour into work, right?
Yeah.
But when do we pour into ourselves? So even if I'm taking these gummies and I take my gummies or a little three of them and I make them into a little sandwich at work, and it makes me so happy making this little sandwich. And I smush it together, and somebody was like, "Oh, you're making a Krabby Patty," and I'm like, "Oh, what?" And they're like, "You know, the little SpongeBob," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "It's a Juice Plus patty," and I was like, "It's better for you. It's all your nutrients." I be trying to feed everybody at work Juice Plus. I'm like, "Here, eat these gummies. You're sick. Here, eat these gummies." Um, so I make these little patties at work and I smush them together and I start eating them, and it's my little happy moment. I only get 4 at the time, so then I buy the sample packs now so I can make more patties for myself throughout the day.
Tell
So
me, you said that you take smoothies, so they have smoothies as well?
they do. They have smoothies as well. I used to be on Bloom, which everybody knows. It went all over TikTok as well. I stopped that because we actually have a performance one as well. And so they have smoothies and a performance shake. And I take the performance shake before the gym. And I take my smoothies. I actually am on the Shred 10 right now. So the Shred 10, you do a smoothie in the morning, you do a smoothie in the afternoon, then you do dinner at night. And it's nice. And it's vanilla and chocolate.
I would like to have like just a little bit of your motivation.
I told you, you have to start small. Step one, step one. Start small. Start with something small that you can do and then work your way up.
And she said, Lisa said, and it's free for kids with adult order.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah, so if you have a kid and you do the healthy start into the age of 26,
Oh,
your
that's
child can get either capsules or gummies. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, but my kid's 18." Okay, sign
that's
up.
good. You know, personally, I personally believe it's a mindset issue as well.
It is.
I think that the more people that I talk to, and I know that your background is psychology, there's a lot of mental issues going on in the world right now. And I really feel that it has a lot to do with what we're putting into our body and the more chemicals that are added to our foods. So I would definitely consider a plant based diet just because of that.
I'm
Uh,
so proud of you for considering it. That's the first step. That's your first step. Yay!
yeah,
See?
yeah. I have my daughter was a vegetarian for a very long time, all through high school. I would probably say about 6 or 7 years when she started to add protein back into her diet because she became a really bad anemic. And the doctor told her, you have to eat like meat. The doctor told her, you have to eat meat. But she's not a favorite of it. She's never like this since she was 2 years old. She's never liked meat. And I think that's she didn't get that from me. But to this day, she eats as healthy as possible and she has as many vegetables and eats, as possible. But she does eat meat to prevent the anemia from coming back when she craves it severely, not because she wants to eat it.
And I think, and that was one of the things I said in the beginning, it's important to know your diet, especially your proteins and where to obtain them. Because if you don't, that can be something that happens. You could get a deficiency in iron or vitamins or wherever the case may be. So it's so important to know where you can consume all these proteins because there are other options. I'm a big person with, like I said, chickpeas.
Yeah.
I even eat them dry now. I buy them right in this little bag that has sea salt on it. And if I feel like I need a boost, I'll just pop a handful in my mouth. They're high in protein, so I just know that. And it's important. And Lisa has been around me, and she could tell you she was like at one point she was like, "You so little," and it's like I just have gravitated to eating in a certain lifestyle. They told me to eat the size of the palm of my hand because one thing I didn't mention earlier was I had an ulcer in my stomach that was impacting my vagus nerve, and they had my vagus nerve. I'm sorry, and they had to cut that nerve in my stomach and remove the ulcer, and it
Wow.
impacted me drastically. And it was impacting my nervous system as well. And they took that ulcer out, and they told me it's gonna take about a year or two for your stomach to go back to normal. But you need to make sure you're eating 3 meals a day. You're doing what you need to do.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh my gosh. First, they told me I might lose up to 55 pounds, and I panicked because I just had this surgery in September. And I was like, I'm going to walk around looking like I'm on something. And because my diet's such a major role, plays a major role in my life, the
Mhm.
way I consume things, I didn't lose that 55 pounds. The doctor was just like, okay. But I do struggle sometimes eating 3 meals because I don't eat meat, but I'll eat like pineapples. But that's not a meal to a doctor. They want you to eat yogurt with pineapples or oatmeal or what they consider a meal is not what I consider a meal. So I will say knowing your body is important and just making sure you consume all the correct protein. But you could get protein from so many things. Like spinach has protein. And you could grow spinach on a tower garden. So do you have
How
any?
much space does
No?
the Tower Garden take?
I'm sorry, say that again.
How much space does the Tower Garden take?
Very little space. I can actually walk over there with you
Mm, let's
and you
get
can let's see it. I'm in my bedroom hiding from my granddaughter. She's,
it.
she's 2. So I wish I had her energy. So the Tower Garden, and put the light on too, so you can see it.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't take that much space.
Nope, it's actually known that it can live in an RV, a studio apartment, and it's so pretty. And it has so
Yeah.
many fried Zeus. And these are the peppers down here and tomatoes. Emmanuel has been eating all my romaine lettuce. As you can see, he hasn't plucked it right, but he ate all of it. So it's barely holding on. But we have another one. Nope, he ate all of that one too. So you guys can see, but here's another lettuce and dill, if you know dill. Um, That little package of dill in the grocery stores can go for like $5. I have about $20 to $25 dill here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, like I said, I personally feel the study that was done years ago is not up to date because I definitely can tell you I saved over $400 in the last 2 weeks by not going to the grocery store for any lettuce.
Is
So,
there a positive message that you would like to share with our audience this evening?
my positive message would be it's okay to love yourself first and take control of your life and your health.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us, Monique. And as always, to all of you watching, and even those not watching, never forget how amazing you are. Never forget how much you are loved. Never forget that you are exceptional. Ajusta tu corona and keep it moving. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Thank you so much, Lillian.